Is Priest Holmes a better running back than Fred Taylor? Hell no. But he made the Pro Bowl.
If you don't want to play football, just walk away from the game. Don't give me no, because I'm scared. If you're scared, you're scared. Go to church.
Folks want to pop off?
If you're a Steelers fan and you listening, leave them damn towels home. It's preseason.
This is the best podcast happening right now. I don't want to be struggling, trying to pick the proper wording and being politically correct. No, man, I'm tired of that. I just want to talk like I talk.
Keep it real.
We keep it real, man. Keep It Real podcast.
We back up in here.
Yeah, we got a new intro. You like that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we been doing some new stuff. I was getting ready to cuss.
Keep it real then.
We got a new call-in telephone number. We'll tell you about that a little bit later in the podcast. But let's just go ahead and talk about the NBA, man. Talk about these playoffs.
Man.
Talk about that game one.
Well, game one last night. OKC was able to go in Golden State and still won.
Man.
Westbrook had a fantastic second half.
Yeah.
And was able to get a big win in Golden State. I think they lost, maybe 3 games there all year?
Yeah.
So that was good. I mean, you go in San Antonio, you beat them twice. Then you go to Golden State and beat them.
Yeah, on the road, man. These are road victories.
That's showing a lot of fortitude for Oklahoma City. There's going to be a good series. Golden State is definitely going to have to play real well to beat this Oklahoma team. When you look at Westbrook, I think he gives Curry and Klay Thompson a matchup problem because he forces them to have to guard him offensively when he has the ball. Mm-hmm. So he makes them work on defense so they don't get a chance to maybe relax or not play as tough on the defensive end where they can get some rest, when guys tend to get their rest. Yeah, I mean, guys, when you're playing basketball, you try and tend to get rest on the defensive end, when you're away from the ball, but you can't really relax with Westbrook because he's cutting and slashing so much and he has the ball and he's so explosive to the basket. So I think they got to keep pushing with Westbrook. Durant, he didn't shoot the ball very well, but he made a big shot at the end of the game.
Yeah.
So he's still going to be there. He's a former MVP. He's real tough to guard for Golden State. So they do have some matchup problems, and they played them tough all season. They weren't able to beat Golden State during the regular season, but now it's the money time.
It was a tale of two halves, because the
first
half, man, Golden State was balling. They were up by like 15, something like that. And you see how Steph Curry sent them to the locker room with the buzzer beater going into halftime. I'm like, man, I started to turn the station. I started to be like, man, this is not going to be a good game.
Well, yeah, I was watching the game and I left. I was at Ale House, I believe, at that time, and I left and was headed home and watched the second half of the game in Westbrook. Obviously, Billy Donovan got him motivated. You think when you see Steph Curry hit that shot right before halftime, that it's going to just kind of be
took all the oxygen. It would have took the oxygen out of me. I'd have been like, man.
OKC's got they're battle tested. They're a team that's been to the finals, so they're battle tested. They know what it's like to go on the road and then just play against a tough team like the Spurs. You got to look and say, well, they went in there and won 2 games. Spurs lost 1 game at home all season. So it's definitely real tough to go in those places and win. And to get that win is big for Oklahoma City. I'm interested to see how this series shakes out. I mean,
it's going to be a good one.
I like Oklahoma City to win.
It's going to be a good one.
I think they're going to upset them. I would like to see them upset
Really?
them. Yeah, I definitely would. I mean, they broke my Bulls record. So, I mean, if they don't win the title, ain't nobody going to ever talk about that.
Man, so let's talk about Billy Donovan a little bit because I wasn't a Billy Donovan fan when he was at Florida.
Never was.
Honestly, I didn't think he would do well in the NBA. As a coach, I thought he was one of them college coaches that's where they need to stay. Yeah. But he's proven me wrong.
Well, you got 2 of the best players in the world playing for your team.
You do.
You do. That doesn't make it hard to coach. I mean, it makes the job a lot easier when you can say, hey, give it to Durant or Westbrook and everybody get the F out the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With the guy who's hot.
Yeah.
So you look at the way they played the Spurs, and that's what really made me say, man, this guy really found what was going to help his team win. And I think that, using Westbrook the way he has in that playoff series as well, because you have Tony Parker, Westbrook has just been phenomenal offensively. I really think it's hurting those guards that he's playing against offensive game. You look at Steph Curry and Klay Thomas; they were 1 for 11 in the fourth quarter at 3-pointers. I think that was because their legs were tired. I think they had to guard Westbrook, and he made them guard him in the second half, and that definitely put some fatigue on him.
Mm-hmm. I really thought Steph Curry was going to take him a while with him missing all them games, a few weeks ago. I thought it was going to really take him a while to kind of get back into a rhythm. But, of course, he came back. Man, look.
Yeah, one of the best shooters in the NBA, if not the best, pure shooter when he gets open look. So, that's definitely something that, he doesn't have to have a lot of conditioning, but he does need his legs.
Yeah.
If his knee or his ankle is still bothering him, you could see some fatigue with that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting story, to watch and play out. But I'm glad we get to watch it.
I know it. OKC leads. They won last night 108-102. Game 2 is on Wednesday night. Let's talk about the game tonight, which is game 1 of Toronto versus Cleveland. And, of course, Toronto sent my Heat home.
Yeah.
I thought the Heat they got it to game 7.
Everybody
Come on.
I think everybody really wanted to see a Cleveland, Miami series.
Of course. I know I did.
For LeBron and, Dwayne Wade going out. I think that was what the fans wanted to see, but Toronto had other plans. Darren Rosen and Lowry, they shot lights out. Game 7, they ran away from that game with the Heat. I turned it off. It was bad.
Yeah, man.
Now we have Toronto and Cleveland. Everybody's probably pulling for Cleveland. They have home field advantage, but you got to understand that Toronto's battle tested, not to the finals, but they've gone through some tough series.
They fought their way in this playoffs this year.
They've had some tough series. So, Miami's, had a relatively easy sweep in both teams. They've been able to shoot the ball. And here's the old thing. Does Cleveland have some rust from being, sitting so long? Mm-hmm. And were they able to stay polished and keep their timing down with just practicing while Toronto was playing in games and things of that nature? So it's going to be an interesting game 1. I like Cleveland to win this series. I think it's going to be OKC.
But you don't think they're going to sweep? You don't think Cleveland going to sweep?
I think Toronto may get 1 or 2 games, possibly. I think it's going to be definitely tough to go to Toronto. That's a tough place to play up there. I could see them maybe getting the game because I think they might play on Sunday where they play an early game, so they might catch Cleveland. So, but I do think Cleveland will win the series.
Okay. I think they will too. I really did want to see Miami versus Cleveland.
I care less.
I really did.
The Bulls ain't in it, so it don't really.
Okay, but I do have a little sensitive side in my heart now for Cleveland because I saw the new 30 for 30.
The Believeland.
Yeah, man. And, of course, I ain't never lived in Cleveland. We all know Cleveland, well, in my age, Cleveland's always been trash.
Yeah.
Whether it be the Brown. Jim Brown played a long time ago. And since then, it's like Cleveland they've been trying. They've been through how many quarterbacks? And let's not just talk about the Browns. We're talking about the Indians. We talking about the Cavaliers. The 30 for 30 talked about the whole city of Cleveland and how Art Modell took the team and he said he wasn't going to take the team.
Yeah.
And, man, them people was heartbroken.
They wanted to do something to Art Modell.
Yeah. Them people was heartbroken, though,
and,
man.
Their new stadium they built was really nice.
Yeah.
I don't really care for it. I hurt my ACL there. So.
So see, you don't like Cleveland.
Yeah, I can care less about Cleveland. Yeah, I'm like Noah, who have you ever heard say they're going on vacation to Cleveland?
To Cleveland.
So,
yeah.
Cleveland is what it is. I mean, they've had some definite struggles.
Just crazy stuff from Art Modell making Rising one of the highest paid receivers. Just like it was
running Jim Brown on.
Yeah, it was just crazy. And of course when LeBron left,
Jordan with the shot on Elo. He had 2 shots, and the other one on Gerald Wilkins. So
Indians trying to be a sports fan in Cleveland, man.
It's rough.
And just think about it. When they showed the footage of the last game before Modell took the team, players was mad about it. They was like, dude, we got Holmes here.
They do. It was definitely a tough time. I know a couple guys that played on that team. Steve Everett was at Michigan with me. He was on that team. I believe he was a rookie. I want to say Derek Alexander was on that team as well. But those guys went through a real tough time, because, they didn't know. Have families, guys that bought houses in Cleveland. So now you got to try and sell your house and and
moved to Baltimore.
And moved to Baltimore. So I remember when we went to Baltimore as a rookie, playing in my first home game, or no, first NFL game was in Baltimore, and it was an old stadium before they had their new stadium. So it was definitely different seeing that whole transition, because Cleveland was a division opponent for us, and then they moved them out. So it's interesting to see the 30 for 30, but I could care less about Cleveland.
I wonder if that's the reason why, like, the NFL. Remember when the NFL did the movie Draft Day a couple years ago?
Yeah.
And like Cleveland was the focal team. I wonder if they do little things like that just to kind of Cleveland fan base. You got to give it to them.
They support them.
Yeah.
I mean, no doubt about it. I tell you what,
no matter how bad they suck,
it's cold. They're losing.
They there.
They do have sellouts.
Yeah.
So you got to give their fans a big support. Now, the baseball team, not so much, and the Cavaliers they usually support too.
Yeah.
But
now with LeBron back.
Yeah, with the Browns.
But the Indians did something, back.
And then you got Major League. That's a funny move.
Yeah, which is talk about the Cleveland Indians. Yeah, so it's
It's
got a little soft spot for Cleveland now. Just a little bit.
After what was it, World War II, Cleveland was almost the mecca of the Midwest with all the
industry and
stuff like that. So now it's still considered a mistake by the lake.
Damn, mistake by the lake.
That's what they call it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Let's get into some football. We had to start out with the NBA today because of the series and everything. But let's talk about football. We talked about the rookie mini camp last week. Went pretty good here. Let's talk about the Buffalo Bills, man. They got two of their high-profile players hurt.
Yeah.
That happened to us.
It happened last year with Dante Fowler Jr.
Yeah. So Shaq Lawson is going to be gone. He's got to get shoulder surgery.
Yeah, he's going to be out for 6 to 8 months probably. And then Sammy Watkins,
who led the team receiving last year. He's got a crack foot or something, like a bone in his foot.
Yeah, that's tough.
What is Rex to do, man? Now, that's a lot to swallow. Now, remember, we only had one player, our top pick. They got their top pick and the top receiver.
One of their best players. It's the NFL. Nobody's going to feel sorry for the Bills. As Boomer would say, rally the troops, circle the wagons, and, get them together and stay tight till they get those guys back healthy. And I wish those guys a successful return, but at this point, there's really nothing you can do. It's just part of the NFL.
You're right.
I think that, you hear of how guys get hurt, sacked in the rookie mini camp, and a lot of teams didn't do a lot of stuff with the rookies because of what happened to Dante Fowler last year. Mm-hmm. Miami, being one, didn't really have much field things to do for their rookie mini camp if they did any field stuff.
Yeah.
The Jaguars even scaled theirs back. And then you look at Baltimore, it's a report out that they had some padded, or it was, a little bit too physical.
Real? Now, see, I thought that was in the CBA that they can't, nobody could hit. But
it's a little, guys get testosterone gets going, and guys get to competing.
Yeah.
And they're itching to play football. It can get a little physical, and reports that they had a little physicality in theirs, and it may have gotten too far, and the CBA has been notified about it. So it is what it is. Guys are gonna try and get their bodies in shape for the football season and compete right now. And obviously they all want to stay healthy, but the teams have got to be smart with these young guys.
Yeah.
As far as what they do with these rookie camps, a lot of these guys for the last 2 or 3 weeks before that draft, it's hard for them to get solid workouts. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. So it's hard to get solid workouts. So you got to be careful with how you treat them, so you don't have the freak injuries where something pops or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
but this is definitely going to affect the Bills.
Definitely.
Definitely. Now, we don't play them until November.
Yeah.
So this might not even.
Those guys will be healthy.
Yeah. So. They should be. Yeah. They should be. But once again, you never know.
Well, but barring, they talked about, they had a little report about guys holding out and how their seasons, the season that they actually, when they come in, finally report, not being part of the off-season workouts and things of that nature, and the OTAs, that a lot of guys do have injuries where they don't have the best season. You look at the Dez Bryant last year. You look at the Maurice Jones-Drew. Just some of the history of guys holding out and not having the seasons that they fully expect to have, because they're either going through contract, typically going through contract situations. Some guys just haven't signed that franchise tender, and that's their right, refusal of service because they haven't been able to work out a long-term deal. But some guys,
and I get it. I get the business end of it. I do.
And I think guys need to look at that though and realize that at the end of the day, you can be hurting yourself, because the statistics show that a lot of guys that do hold out do have some simple injuries that cost them games in that season that they hold out. So I know the agents have to know about this now, and I think the players need to be informed of that as well.
Now, speaking of players signing, a lot of our rookies are signing. Miles Jack signed his contract. It's really easier now.
It's like the NBA. I mean, a lot of stuff is slotted. There's no big holdouts.
Nobody waiting to get, I want $20 million. I want $25 million. Yeah, they don't really do all that anymore.
Gone. So that's the good part of it, that you got to get these guys signed. I want to say some team had all their guys signed already. I can't remember who it was, but everybody will get signed pretty fast, I'm assuming, and they'll get things taken care of and get these guys working.
Get them working, get them working. Shout out to the Jaguars, man, because I thought we were kind of finished with free agency, stuff like that, with the draft being over. We're just gonna see how things shake out, but they still picking up people. They picked up. I know I'm gonna mess up this guy name, Bajoran. Is that it?
Yeah, I guess.
Bajoran. Yeah. FSU. I remember him in FSU.
Yeah, another defensive end, guy to get some pass rush. Former first-round pick too. So. It's going to be competing in that defensive line room, the defensive tackle, defensive end. There's going to be some competition going on in that training camp and through the OTAs to see who emerges as that pass rusher. And I'm interested to see how that plays out. Yeah,
we so stacked in that defense.
Too bad we can't keep them all.
I know it, but we so stacked in there. The thing was, he played with Indianapolis, and he is a quote. He's talking about he's happy to be back in Florida.
Yeah.
Of course, like I said, went to Florida State, so did his schooling here in Florida. No snow. But he said that playing in Indianapolis, he really wasn't a part of that whole pass rushing scheme, and that's what he wanted to do. So Indianapolis just wasn't using him right?
Well, Indianapolis, they play a 3-4 defense. And he's a smaller defensive end, and it makes it a little bit difficult when you're a 3-4 defensive end, because you do have the two gap. You can't just get up the field a lot of times on third down.
Now explain that to people who don't know what all that means.
You got to play two gaps, meaning you're lining up. You got to watch the inside and the outside, because the linebackers are going to fill. It's 4 linebackers, but you still got to play. You got to be stout in the run game, and he's not a big guy.
So that's harder to do if you're a smaller guy.
Yeah, it's a smaller guy.
Okay.
So he's more of a speed pass rusher, so he'll fit better in a 4-3 system where he can get up the field on third down, and that defensive tackle can hold that inside better, and they won't have to. He doesn't have to worry about that inside as much.
Yeah. So he's more of he looks like Paz out there.
Yeah.
He's smaller, quicker, but he'll hit you.
Yeah. He's definitely a smaller guy.
Yeah.
So. Playing in a 3-4, you're going to see a lot more double teams with the tight end and the tackle, and you got to be able to fight, those two big guys. And him being a lighter guy, he's going to definitely be better used with the 4-3 system.
We so stacked on that defense.
That defensive line is definitely going to be.
I can't wait to see him in the game, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to see no scrimmage. I don't want to see none of that. I want to see some real competition. That first preseason game, man.
It's going to be good.
I want to see the rotation that they use. It's just. I know what I feel like is going to happen, but I need to see it, though, man. I need to see it.
It's definitely going to be good to see. I'm excited. I want to get out to practice and watch some of those, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're going to be competing out there.
And once again, they're going to look totally different until they put pads on.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody going to look great out there with the shorts and the T-shirt on.
That's a classic Bill Parcells. Everybody looks good in their bathing suit.
Yeah.
Everybody look good.
We need to get some hitting. We need to hit some pads and stuff.
Yeah, thumping.
Yeah. All right, speaking of Jacksonville Jaguars, a former Jaguar is in the news for something he did. Eugene Monroe.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Traded?
We traded him for some draft picks. I wasn't looking at the business end of that deal, but it was good for us.
Yeah.
Of course, they traded him to Baltimore. He's still there, offensive tackle. Pretty good player.
Yeah,
pretty good player.
He's been solid up there.
Basically, he's been one of the only NFL players currently playing.
Active player.
Yeah, active players that wants the NFL to let players smoke marijuana.
You look at
For
it.
pain. For pain.
It definitely has medical, stuff behind
He's
it.
an advocate.
He is an advocate.
That weed.
Yeah, smoking that good. But the thing is, the NFL has that, that CBA, so it's going to have to be restructured for that to take part in that. But
now he's putting his money where his mouth is.
Yeah, he did donate $80,000.
Yeah, $80,000 for to study this. Now he's basically saying that players should be able to use something natural like weed, cannabis products to manage that pain, other than those serious addictive opiate drugs. Yeah,
and that's definitely. I get that, because you look at a guy like Brett Favre, who was addicted to pain pills.
Yeah.
People don't talk about that a lot, but he was addicted to pain pills. So it's definitely a culture there. Guys do think about that, and you think about what those pills do, because you're taking so many, to maybe possibly play through a game, get through a game, get through practice, get through the week. I can only imagine what a guy like Hearns took last year to play through a hernia and play through the foot injury.
All season.
To play through that. So, that's definitely got to be painful, something that, has got to be managed some kind of way. And, if marijuana is the answer, I'm all for it. I'm all for what's getting, what's best for the guys. I know it has to be managed correctly.
It's just like,
I don't think they're just going to let guys just
smoke. Yeah, I'm home smoking out. Yeah, of course.
And
of course, I know that's not what he wants them to do. But what I'm raising my eyebrow at is Roger Goodell, commissioner. He's refused to even consider.
I thought he was going to consider it.
No, he said he's refused to consider changing the league's policy on marijuana because he's looking at it as a recreational type drug.
Yeah, because you got to look at the guys that's still going to think, oh, well, it's okay to smoke weed in the NFL. Because Major League Baseball had it for years when they didn't have any drug testing. They didn't have any drug testing, steroids or street drugs. So when you look at it, it's definitely a policy that you got to be careful with. I get what Roger Goodell was saying, because you're still gonna have the guys that just want to go to the beach and blow,
be all willy nilly, smoking them trees.
Yeah, blowing,
that tweed. Got my tweed. What?
Yeah, smoking. Blowing up the. Getting out the car like Cheech and Chong, because it's still illegal.
It's not. When I just want him to look at it.
You look at Colorado, where you got a different situation for the Broncos, where it's illegal there.
Yeah.
California,
you got to have your card.
You got to have your card. So in Illinois, you got to have your card.
Yeah.
So those are states where teams are currently in the NFL where marijuana. Seattle.
Yeah.
So they have rights as humans, but they have to follow the rules of the NFL. So,
but I think he still needs to look at it. And I think that's what Eugene Monroe, he wants it to be a study or something. Yeah. So that's what he's putting up money for. Yeah. Now, the Ravens owner, he didn't really support Eugene, just come straight out. He offered, it says here, he offered limited support, saying that he respects Eugene and his decisions or what he wants to do.
Right.
But he wants to see more information on. That's what the owner says. Now, Harbaugh, the Ravens head coach, he just kind of, he said, well, Eugene don't speak for the organization.
Yeah, so, I think the organizations are definitely going to want to see.
Around that
they're definitely going to skirt around it. I mean, because at the end of the day, marijuana, just saying, okay, hey guys, you can smoke marijuana. I think it needs to be a case by case situation. I don't think they're going to just freely say or take marijuana off the drug testing list for guys. It's going to have to be something that it's going to have to be, done the right way for these guys to be able to use that, if that's what, is going to be determined by any type of study. So I'm all for the study to make sure or see if it's worth it. You look at the studies where it's helped, that girl who's having, I think, almost 200 seizures a day.
Yeah.
And it helped her where now she's having none.
Yeah. And
So
that's the thing, you know, I've heard stories, and you tell me if this true. You know, you get out there and been playing Sunday, and Monday you feeling like you've been in 3 or 4 accidents.
Yeah, well,
You need something to keep, you know.
when you wake up Monday, you feel like you've been in 8 to 12 35-mile-an-hour car accidents after playing in an NFL game. So maybe smoking a J might help you, but I don't know how much motivation it's going to give you.
I ain't gonna look at that playbook today, but I am gonna go get me a sub. I'm gonna go to Firehouse and get me some subs today.
Yeah, might have some guys overweight.
I see what you're saying. Once again, the NFL top 100 players, they've been kind of slowly rolling them out. We have 5 Jaguars on that list.
They've named 2.
They have named 2. They named Tevin Smith and they named Allen Hurns, which I kind of figured both of them were going to be on there.
Yeah.
Who else do you think is going to be on that list?
Well, report is 5. My guess would be Blake Bortles.
Yep. I see Blake on there.
Allen Robinson would be the other guy. And then if we're going to have a 5th one, and usually they do it based on the year before, I would have to either say Malik Jackson or Julian Thomas would be the guys would be the guys that I would say for the 5th one. Julian came on a little bit at the end of the year with some touchdowns.
Had some injuries,
but he did come on with some touchdowns late. So I don't know who would be one of those 2 guys who I would say. I can't think of anybody else. Maybe Prince from the Giants. Possibly.
Yeah, he had a pretty good year last year.
So one of those 3 guys possibly. So maybe even Chris Ivory. I doubt it though. But
it's gonna be interesting
he'd be
to
a long
see.
shot. Chris Ivory would be the long shot.
Yeah.
But it'd just be interesting.
Now, speaking of Prince, him and Tevin Smith, the guys are still working out.
Yeah, they're working out.
So the joys of social media. So after practice the other day, they decided to have a foot race.
Yeah, they raced.
Did you see the video?
Yeah. It looks like Prince barely won.
It was when you say a photo finish.
Yeah.
See, I thought Telvin leaned in and it was a
tough.
close race.
Yeah, I didn't.
It was a close race,
very close,
and it was what they did 50 yards. They did 50 yards.
50 yards, something like that. Telvin's fast.
He is.
He's fast.
He is. He is now, and of course, we was there was no pads. It was just them in
Because
workout clothes.
When
but
they showed the top 100, Telvin and Hurns were watching it together, and they had an interview, and it was asked who's faster, and Telvin said he was faster than Hurns.
Yeah,
so that might be another race.
I mean, I'd pay to see that race.
Yeah, remember didn't Fred T challenge somebody to race on the show? We got to follow up with Fred T. Yeah, he did challenge somebody on the show to a race. I can't remember who it was.
But when I saw that video, I was like, man, go ahead, Telvin.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Telvin.
So you have to cover somebody.
Look, we starting some new stuff on the podcast. We trying to take this thing global. That's what we trying to do. So now we have a new call-in number. So you can call in and ask questions. You can leave a message, and you might make the podcast if you want to talk about a few things.
Don't be talking crazy either.
We're
gonna keep it real.
We might talk crazy back if you're gonna talk crazy. The number is area code 331-248-7325. Once again, that's 331-248-7325. And I tried to make it spell, keep it real. It was hard for me to do that. So what the number is area code 331, the number 2, it real. To it real. So area code 331 2 it real. Type that in, leave a message, leave a question, leave whatever, and we definitely we will interject the
we'll
questions.
Get back. We'll holler at you.
That's okay. So it was announced last week that the NFL is going to be partnering with YouTube and release 3 of the most memorable games for each NFL team, and they're gonna have the game in its entirety on YouTube. Of course, they got to put that 1996 AFC divisional game against Denver.
I think that one.
Yeah.
Obviously, Buffalo game is pretty good too.
That's the wild card game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the Denver game is a better game to put on there.
The big AFC divisional game in 1999, the Dan Marino go back home game.
I think that's a game you want to put on there.
Yeah.
It's a history game.
Yeah.
And the third one, you can put that Buffalo game on. You could put the Jaguars versus Pittsburgh.
Oh, the Monday night game.
The Monday night game.
Yeah.
Or you can put the Pittsburgh when they beat them in the playoffs, where David got the run to kind of secure the game.
That was the one in the snow. Yeah, I remember that one. I remember that one. Yeah, yeah.
I would probably pick, being biased, I played in 2 of them. I would probably pick the field goal block when Chris Hudson.
The Monday night game,
Clyde,
that's in 1997. Yeah, that was a big game, and that was a national game too. Yeah. Monday Night Football, Jags
Mark
versus
had just come back from injury too.
Yeah,
so that stadium was rocking that night. It was a big game for us, and then
that's when Bill Cowher just started hating us.
Yeah, he wanted.
We ain't like you either, Bill Cowher.
He wanted to punch Chris when he went down the sideline.
I would vote for that one because I want to see. I haven't seen that one in a while.
I remember when they called a timeout before that field goal, and Clyde Simmons, I think, should be in the Hall of Fame. Clyde called our special teams coach up and made him get the actual playbook out and brought everybody in and said, "Hey, we got to block this." And Clyde went in there and blocked it.
Wow.
It made sure everybody,
Wow, you know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
look at the play.
Get in
this
there.
way you need to be.
And he told, I think Clyde had he had somebody else come in, took somebody out to give him a push to get his hand up there, and he was able to get in there and block it.
Wow.
So,
he blocked it. Chris Hudson
picked it up and
scooped it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, Bill Cowher almost pulled Woody Hayes.
Just gonna trip the man.
Well, that's what that's the same sideline Woody Hayes tripped the kid from Clemson.
Yeah.
It was in the Gator Bowl.
Wow. I forgot that was there in that stadium. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Duval, baby. Duval be having some wild stuff.
For what I'm hearing, YouTube is gonna let fans vote on the games that they want to see on YouTube.
As a fan, I would vote for the Dolphins game.
Yes, because you just don't beat a team 62-7. That don't happen that often.
And then you retire one of the greatest quarterbacks.
Yeah, you do
ever.
It was just so many things going on in that game. Of course, the Dan Marino, his last game, y'all beating Miami so bad. Fred Taylor went nuts in that game.
Jimmy Johnson's last game. Jimmy Johnson was the coach in that game too.
Really?
Yeah, he was the coach for the Dolphins there.
Sure was. Yeah. Sure was. I totally forgot about that. Yeah. The games we talked about, I think those are the most memorable games. Mm-hmm. The Jaguars have played.
Morton Anderson missing field goal. That's a memorable game for the Jaguars.
Yeah. Now that you said that whole Jimmy Johnson thing, that's why they call the Jaguars Coach Killers. Jaguars beat you. How many coaches then got fired because the Jaguars beat them? They killers. They kill you. Also, this week, ESPN debuted a brand new website called The Undefeated. The site is theundefeated.com. I'm looking at it now, so it just debuted today. They got story on Beast Mode, got a story on Cam Newton. And basically, their tagline is sports, race, culture, historically black colleges, universities, and a whole lot more. So just the fact that they're talking about HBCUs, is a good thing. I know Spike Lee is going to be doing like a little segment on it. They're gonna have what's the guy and the girl that does His and Hers on ESPN? Like their podcasts are gonna be on there.
We're gonna have our podcast.
Yeah, that's what we're trying, man. That's what we're trying. I already sent them a link to it, so we need to get that thing worked out. We need to be on The Undefeated. You know who we haven't talked about this week? Johnny Manziel.
Johnny.
I thought we was gonna have a week without him, but nah.
He's not gonna give us no rest. Johnny's trying to sell his house still in Cleveland.
Yes.
He's out on bond.
Yes.
He's gone back to L.A., living the fast life.
Chilling.
And he is getting a grill made for his mouth, ladies and gentlemen. Diamond studded.
Wow.
And he will have a grill to stunt in the club. Can't eat with it in, I'm sure. But
we can't make this stuff up.
He got top and bottom.
That's what he did this week.
Yeah, he got top and bottom. 2 at the top for the fangs, and then the bottom he got looks like he has 6.
Oh my gosh.
Johnny,
like this some Lil Jon shit. I wonder
if he's getting it from Paul Wall. He's from Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
now they say this grill should be around $20,000 with the diamonds and stuff in it.
for a grill.
They didn't say how much it cost, but they say that similar pieces of the one that Johnny got goes for around $20,000. We're gonna put the picture on our Instagram and on our Twitter of this.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it big.
The crazy thing about it is, it says the report I see on Google. I Googled Johnny Manziel's grill, and it says Dallas Cowboys. Johnny Manziel gets himself a grill.
Really?
Yeah.
What news source is that?
Sun Sports Day, All Day Dallas News or something like that. Yeah. So I don't know why they would put that, because he's definitely not signed with the Cowboys, but that's what it says.
Wow. Is somebody just trying to predict the future with that, or what? You know what? We can't write this stuff, man. That's why we got to talk about him every week. We can't write this stuff,
Man.
I don't ever think he'll play
At least
in the league again.
At least he'll be, styling if he ever go to rehab.
You're right. Oh, he's gonna be the sharpest thing up in rehab. Okay, Johnny.
Go buy a grill.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Keep It Real PCast. Follow us on Instagram at Keep It Real Podcast. Don't forget we put the pictures of Johnny Manziel's new grill on our Instagram and Twitter. So make sure you're following so you can see the pictures of that. Don't forget we got a call-in number. So call us area code 331-2-IT-REAL. That's 331-248-7325. Call us.
We need y'all to share the podcast with your friends.
Yeah. Get the link, share it, and take a listen. And call in and just leave input, leave questions, all that good stuff, and we'll try our best to get back with it.
We're going to keep it real.
That's right. That's all we do. Keep it real.
We out.